All right, cool. Well, thanks, guys. I'm gonna share my other screen, see how this goes. Make sure you guys can see it. All right, hopefully you all can see just the Google slide deck should say Mercury Editor on there, which of course is what we're here to talk about. And you guys can hear me okay, right? Cool. Well, thanks everybody for being here. I'm excited to talk about Mercury Editor, which provides effortless drag and drop publishing for Drupal. Something I spend a lot of time talking about, working on both with my team at Atten and with our clients. I'll talk just really quickly about myself and my company. So my name is Justin. I work with Atten Design Group. We are a strategy, design, development company, which means we do everything involved in planning, designing, building, supporting, helping grow and maintain websites and web applications, primarily for clients in .org, .gov, and .edu spaces. So a lot of nonprofit work, a lot of higher ed work, and a lot of government work. We do a lot of work helping clients make better authoring experiences with Drupal. And that's basically what we're going to be talking about today is Mercury Editor. Mercury Editor is a Drupal module, which we'll get into here in just a minute, that provides a authoring experience that's completely tailored to the needs of marketing and editorial staff. And it's really geared at making it easy for content editors to create content using established design systems within their platforms. And it solves what I think has been kind of an ongoing challenge for Drupal, that while Drupal is really incredible at working with structured content, it can be really difficult for content people in turn to work with Drupal. And it's just some of the admin systems, some of the content authoring systems can be rather complex. And Mercury Editor seeks to solve some of those problems. And we'll take a look at how that works here in a minute. What we're specifically going to cover in the next 20 minutes or so is first just the key features of Mercury Editor, what it is, what it does. I'll talk a little bit about the module itself and the ecosystem. I think one of the things that is important about Mercury is just to know that it is built on long-standing existing Drupal modules that are available in the contrib and core space. Talk a little bit about where we're going beyond stable. So we hit stable just a couple months ago. Want to talk a little bit about what's coming next. Then we'll get into a live demo. I'll do 2 live demos. One will be just of a very simple site that I've run like a base Drupal install on, have installed Mercury Editor. That's pretty much it. We'll take a look at what it does right out of the box. And then I will also take a look at how Mercury works in the context of a more customized application. So we'll take a look at a fairly simple, but definitely heavily customized client project and take a look at how Mercury works in that environment. And then finally, should have plenty of time at the end for questions, conversation, discussion, etc. So if that sounds good, I will dig in. I guess before I get too much further, feel free to grab a screenshot of this, stay in the loop on changes. That QR code just takes you to this same sign-up page. I'm going to throw this slide up again at the end of the presentation, so don't feel like you have to rush to grab that. And of course, I'll leave that up to the end while we're answering questions and stuff like that. Okay, so Mercury Editor is first and foremost a Drupal module. It's available for download on Drupal.org. There is a stable release. It is free open source software like every other contributed module in Drupal. We'll get into exactly what it does out of the box here in a minute. Mercury provides no-code drag and drop authoring for Drupal. What we're going to get into in a bit when we see a live demo is that Mercury Editor really just takes over the content creation and content editing screens in Drupal. And in that context, it provides a really easy way, again, no code, drag and drop authoring experience for building up content. Mercury Editor provides a custom component library. Really, maybe the right way to say that is that it works with a custom component library. So that's something that organizations would need to develop themselves, is their own custom component library. Mercury Editor then kind of brings those to the authoring experience. And we'll take a look at what that means again as we get into the demo. Mercury provides styles management, so a way for managing styles across all components. All of those styles are centralized from a developer experience point of view into a single configuration file. I'm happy to dig into that. That's not really planned for the demo, but I'm happy to dig into that more in the Q&A portion. And finally, again, Mercury provides a really streamlined UI, specifically tailored to the needs of marketers and editorial staff. I'll talk just a little bit about what Mercury is built on if you're familiar with Drupal and kind of the Drupal contrib space. First of all, again, there's the Mercury module available at the project download page on Drupal.org. Mercury makes really heavy use of the paragraphs module. So all of the components, when we think about content components in the context of Mercury Editor, what we're really dealing with are paragraphs and paragraph types, if you're familiar with the paragraph module in Drupal, which is, I think, the most widely used contrib solution to kind of a component-based authoring approach. And again, happy to answer any questions about that. Hopefully a lot of that becomes clearer if you're not familiar with it already as we get into the demo. Mercury makes heavy use of layout paragraphs. Layout paragraphs simply brings a drag and drop layouts integration to paragraphs. So layout paragraphs makes it possible to easily drag and drop paragraphs in an edit screen. Mercury makes heavy use of layout paragraphs. It makes use of the layout API, which is in Drupal core. And then finally, it makes heavy use of style options, which is another contrib module that we maintain that provides just an easy, centralized way of managing styles, mostly focused on layout plugins and paragraphs. I like to throw this slide up when I'm talking about Mercury. Mercury, what really makes Mercury most powerful is its close integration with layout paragraphs. Layout paragraphs adoption continues to grow. We're up over 9,000 installs at this point and continuing to grow. Mercury Editor, it does have a stable release. It's at 2.1.0 right now. The last time I gave this presentation, we were talking about things that needed to happen to get there. Now I'll talk about these in terms of things that happened and got us here. First, the goal was that Mercury would be able to be installed on virtually any Drupal 9 or 10 site. So if you're running Drupal 10 at this point, install Mercury Editor. You should be able to immediately get a sense for how it works. It can be installed and uninstalled without impacting any other functionality. You're not tied to Mercury. If you install Mercury, create content, and then uninstall it, there are no repercussions. I should say that because Mercury makes heavy use of paragraphs and layout paragraphs, if you build content with paragraphs and layout paragraphs, you would need to leave those modules installed. But Mercury Editor itself, you can install it, uninstall it as you wish without impacting your site. Available in the module now, we have full end-to-end automated testing that's making use of Cypress. And then finally, we have a series of baseline accessibility tests that have been addressed, accessibility issues that were addressed, and you can see what those are in the issue queue for Mercury Editor. The big thing is that it does provide full use via keyboard and screen assistive technologies. Where we're headed next, first, we want to support live editing for other field types. So what we're going to look at today is live editing with layout paragraphs or with paragraph fields. We want to get to other field types, text, images, etc. Mercury relies very heavily on this whole idea of live preview, where you're actually building content in the preview pane. We'll take a look at what that looks like, and I think today I can demo what that might look like, how that might work for live editing text. We are going to build in governance controls. We have already developed some secondary modules that bring governance into Mercury, so make it real easy to say kind of what components can go into what contexts. That's going to eventually be just a baseline part of the module. We're working on tighter integration with single directory components. We've been pretty excited about the work with SDC and seeing SDC in core. It has quickly become a huge part of our workflow. If you're not familiar with SDC or single directory components allows front-end developers to package front-end components in a really modular way that can be used across an entire site. There's a very kind of natural connection in our minds between the content components we're working with in Mercury and SDC components, and we want to continue to kind of tighten up that integration. And then finally, we're working on more advanced templating and kind of creation, editing, and library features for making reusable content. And we'll take a look at kind of what a little bit of that looks like today, and then kind of can definitely answer questions and kind of talk through what that might look like in the future. All right, that's a very quick overview of Mercury and what it provides. With that, I'm going to jump over to two different demos. We'll start with just a simple Drupal 10 website, not Drupal 9. We'll start with a very simple Drupal 10 site. I ran the install script on this site just moments before jumping into this Zoom, so there's literally nothing in here. This is just a kind of an off-the-shelf Drupal 10 install. Mercury Editor ships with a sub-module, a test module called Mercury Editor Setup Test. If you install Mercury Editor Setup Test, that's all I've done. Everything you'll see here, you could try out on your own. Mercury, as I was saying before, takes over the content creation and edit screens. This sidebar down the left here is the Gin theme sidebar. It's provided just by the Gin admin theme. If you aren't familiar, I recommend checking that out. That's not really a part of Mercury at all, although Mercury does work well with Gin, but it would work just as well with any other admin theme. I'm going to click over to the admin content screen. Just looking like the typical Drupal add content screen. I'll click on add content. That Mercury Editor Setup Test module I mentioned has installed this new content type called Mercury Editor Test Content Type. Click on that, and this launches us into the Mercury Editor experience. This can be enabled for any content type. Our test suite just happens to create a custom content type for testing purposes. When we get into Mercury Editor, a few things that are different about this than the typical Drupal content creation screen. The form, the whole content creation form, has been moved into the right-hand side in this edit tray. It can be easily moved out of the way. It can be resized, but the main form has been moved into this right-hand edit tray. On the left-hand side, we see a live preview of the content that we'll actually be working on, and then simple controls across the top in this toolbar, basically just for saving your work, hitting done, which bounces you back out of the editor. The only real option we have on this live preview is this single plus button. This is being provided by Layout Paragraphs. I hit the plus button. It shows me the options that are available in this site. When I'm talking about content components, this is what I'm talking about. These are the components that are available in the site. Again, that's really synonymous with paragraph types, if you're familiar with the paragraphs module and its approach to working with kind of component-driven content. I'm going to start by just adding a section. Whatever layouts are installed in this website would be available in this interface. These are just the default ones offered by Core. I'll jump right into, let's say, a two-column section, hit save. It immediately drops that section into the live preview. I'll hit the plus button. Because of the way this instance is configured, we're not allowing nested sections, although nested sections are a feature of Mercury Editor. It's just not turned on here. I'll add a text component. Wait for that to load. Here's my window to add some text. Type a little bit of text, hit save. It immediately drops that component onto the screen. I can go back in and edit it. Everything has drag and drop control, so I could decide to move that into the header region, back to the left, over to the right, etc. Hit the plus button again. This time we'll go with an image, add an image, choose something from my local machine. We'll just add some kind of landscape image here. Give that an alt tag, hit save, insert the image, and it drops it into the live preview. And we're off and running. Sections can be edited, so you can go back in and say that you actually want this two column to be a one column, go down to one column. I actually skipped right over that dialog, but it asked me what I wanted to do. I'll do that one more time. Just take a look at how that works. Go back out to two column, hit save. Now this is a two column layout. Move this text down into the bottom right, go to a one column layout, and it asks me what I want to do with content that was in that top region and then also in the second. Both of those are just set to go into the main content region. So nothing's lost essentially when you change the column structure. At any point, we can hit save, done. It'll take us back to the main view tab, which looks more or less identical to that live preview that we were working with. And that essentially is how layout paragraphs works. One new feature I mentioned is the whole idea of live inline text editing. We see a little bit of that with this as we edit the title on the right-hand side. If I just call this My New Page, we see that immediately reflected on the live preview. Another place that's even more powerful where we can see this, and you can kind of see where we're going with Mercury, with, again, the whole idea of interacting directly with the live preview. If I click into a text component, and that's any component that has CK Editor enabled on it, I can start making live edits right here on the page. And in the background, this is being saved back to the paragraph, assigned back to this node. If I hit the save button, hit done, all those changes are applied seamlessly in the context of that live preview. The whole goal here is to get out of this paradigm where authors are having to sort of remember what paragraph type or what kind of nested form means what on the front end, and really bring this much more visual interface to folks who are working, spending their time working with content, and where really that's their focus. So that's a quick look at how Mercury works in as far as a brand new fresh install. One thing I kind of skipped over are these controls, the preview controls at the top. We can take a look at what this looks like in mobile at any time. These mobile presets are all configurable in the Mercury Editor settings, which are just inside the Mercury Editor configuration. So if your organization publishes a lot of content specifically for tablets, you could easily add like tablet dimensions as part of your preset for previewing that content at any point. All right, that's the first part of this demo. That again is what Mercury looks like if you were to install it just on a fresh install. I'm going to change gears for a minute and just take a look at what this looks like for a more customized application. This is a website that markets a free STEM festival put on by the Sanford Underground Research Lab every year. SURF, the Sanford Underground Research Lab, is the deepest underground research facility in North America. They do incredible science and research experiments in just a very, very unique environment. They bring together scientists, academics, researchers, the public, members of the public, and folks from all over the world involved around this kind of research. We have worked on a collection of projects with SURF. This is just one of them. Fairly simple site. This site is just focused on that free STEM event they do every single year. It needs to advertise the event. In this case, the event's already passed, so it talks about the past event, opportunity to take the survey, a video, some speaker information, etc. And I'm just going to quickly kind of rebuild this homepage just to show how this would work in the context, again, of a more customized application. This toolbar, again, is the Gen toolbar I mentioned before. Again, just a contrib module in Drupal. If you're not already using it, recommend checking that out. In this case, I'm going to go over to add a basic page. Basic pages for this website have been configured to use Mercury. It's a simple configuration option in the backend. When I click into add content, this looks pretty familiar, just like what we were looking at before. That form has been pushed to the right, live preview on the left. In this case, our only option to get started is add a new section. I'll add a section, leave that as one column. This is that styles management piece I was talking about back at the beginning of this presentation. Bouncing over to the styles tab, we see a number of styles that have been tailored to the needs of this website, derived from their design system. I'm going to grab this option 9, which is just a geometric shape that gets dropped into the background of this section. Once the section's in place, so a little plus button hiding out back here. I'm going to hit the plus button. We'll start with a heading. You can get a sense for, again, I talked about this kind of component library being a factor of the needs of each organization. So these are the components that were built for this client as a result of the design process with them. I'll add a heading, grab some text off screen, and drop this in here. I'll actually just wrap some bold tags around this one line, which we could have done with a WYSIWYG and just didn't. Choose heading 2, go over to styles. Now styles are showing us styles specific just to the heading. I'll choose the normal style, so a slightly lighter weight. It lets that bold last word come through. There we have our heading. It drops it on the live preview. Add another component. We'll go with the date and location. This is a component that is specific, very specific to the needs of this client and this conference. Grab again some text from off screen, drop this in place, hit save, and it drops that lockup in place. I want that to be below the heading, so I'll just drag it down there, hit the plus button again. This time we'll add some text, grab the text from off screen once again, and paste that in place, hit save. And this is already looking a lot like a fair bit like the homepage. I'll move that component up where it goes. We can get a sense for what this looks like on full screen just by moving that edit tray out of the way. We can also get a sense for what this looks like on mobile by using the mobile preview. I'll go back to desktop and just show a couple more sections before we kind of wrap this up and take any questions. I'll add another section. This time, again, really reaching to see that plus button back there. Choose a video from the library. Just grab one of these, hit insert and save. Drops the video in place. I'll add another section. One thing that we really wanted to be able to do with Mercury is let editors and editorial marketing staff make creative decisions right in the browser, which sometimes can be a little tricky with content management systems like Drupal. So one example of that might be something like this, where there is a style, there are a set of components that are available from, let's give this a link, from their component library that supports this kind of card style. So I'll show you what I mean. If I grab a person reference, I'm going to start with Brian Mallow, one of the speakers at the conference, and choose this card style for Brian. Drop that in place. Again, that works. That's coming from their design system, from the custom design system created for them. I'll duplicate that real quick and see it just duplicated the component, drag it over, edit the person reference. We'll change this to Chief Henry Redcloud, hit save. I'm going to duplicate this one more time, drag this speaker into the third column, hit edit, and this time we'll make this a reference to Sam, whose last name I can't pronounce, don't know how to pronounce. So this is looking pretty good. I mean, this again is derived from the design system, as I was talking about earlier. Ultimately, they wanted to go with a slightly different look, something else that was also, works just fine as far as their design system is concerned. So I'll just show how that works. I'll add another section. I'm going to drag this heading up into the section I just created, add a section below, drag this speaker into that section and change the style of the speaker. And we'll make this the featured style, which just makes this speaker a little bit more prominent. I'll add another section, this time a one column again. Drag Chief Henry Redcloud into our new section, but I'll make this one the default style, which will be just a little bit less prominent, so a little bit smaller than the featured. Once again, we'll edit this section. We kind of showed how this worked earlier. Go down to a one column for the section. It asks me what to do with that content that would otherwise be lost. We'll let that drop into the main content area, which it does. Change this person reference to, again, default. Hit save. And this is looking much more like the actual homepage, the actual design that they went with. I'll hit save. Done. And as you can see, pretty hard to tell a difference between this and the homepage that they actually went with. I'll go back in and just show one more time kind of how this live editing works and where we see this going. So with live editing enabled, it is a sub module of Mercury Editor. any text area, as you're hovering over text, if your cursor turns into this text style, you can click into it. It automatically turns on the CK Editor 5 editing instance. I am going to drop a link in here, so we'll see how this goes. Take the survey, go up here and make this a link to the survey page, which is looking pretty good. But then what I actually want to do is change the style of that. So I'll choose this yellow button style, and you can see sort of how that works and some of the power as far as live previewing goes of being able to edit that text right in the context of the live preview. I'll hit save, and then again, get out of the editing, the editor, the Mercury Editor, and into the live page. You can see again, looking more or less just like that homepage. All right, that's about it as far as live demo goes. Bounce back to these slides just briefly. Again, if you are interested in kind of staying in the loop and seeing where we're going with this, recommend you just grab a screenshot of this sign up that's on the screen right here. I'm happy to follow up with this in the chat. Also, we'll be posting updates or sending out updates to this newsletter list as we make updates to Mercury Editor. And I think at this point, I am happy to take any questions. Thanks, everybody, for being here.
I'll just jump in. So fantastic. Wow. I'm very impressed. Very cool. So if we already have a site that has all the paragraphs and, you know, types and all set up, is it just drop in, or is there some glue that needs to happen?
Very little glue. So you would, to get that kind of live preview, you would just need layout paragraphs. So you'd want Mercury Editor, which has a dependency to layout paragraphs. So Mercury Editor plus layout paragraphs. You don't have to use layout. That's something that's a little unclear in the context of this demo. This site is configured so that everything must go into a section. So the only option is to add a section, which is this like layout container, and then all the paragraphs go inside that. I can talk more about that here in a minute too. It doesn't have to be set up that way. I'm happy to show you what I mean by that, but if you go into the actual field config for your layout paragraph field, which is just a form field, there's an option to say, you know, does it require a section or not? One thing we really wanted to avoid, just in case this question comes up, something that has been problematic in the past with paragraphs are nested paragraph relationships. So if, you know, often what we would do in the past is we'd have like a container paragraph that might have like a left-hand side paragraph reference inside of it and a right-hand side paragraph reference inside of it. Maybe we wouldn't name it left and right because we wanted it to be a little bit more general or something, which also is really confusing for editors. And problematically, that creates these pretty deep database relationships that scale, especially when you have revisions in play. Mercury and layout paragraphs do not do that. So even though it looks like there's a nested relationship between these paragraphs, there really isn't as far as the database is concerned. This is all a single paragraph reference field, and the structure is added by layout paragraphs. So one paragraph simply says, you know, this other one is my parent, and this is the region I go into. It's a bit of a technical difference. The main takeaway there is just that it is more performant and a simpler configuration, simpler setup for site owners, site admins. But thanks, Kristen, for that question.
Yeah, just one follow-up, because you mentioned it. If you went into a revision and looked at it, you can see it, or?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. Let's see what. Let's take a look. I'm not sure how many times I hit save here, so I'm not sure how. Okay, so this is not going to show us very much, but we can just look at the difference between these two pages. This one has the survey link. That one does not have the survey link. Pretty sure that's the only difference between them. I think that's the only thing I hit save on. But yes, as you're making updates, when you hit that save button, it behaves the same way a Drupal edit form does. It creates a new revision based on whatever logic you already have set up for your editing workflow.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks. Curious, I'm gonna try something while we're talking here, but I'm happy to answer other questions. So keep them coming.
There's a question in the chat from Alex, wanting to know if the categorization of the list of paragraphs is part of Mercury Editor or part of layout paragraphs.
Oh, that's a great question. That is actually a part of Mercury Editor. So that's in the configuration, and I can show you where that is. I'm going to do two things. I'm going to look at revisions, and I'm also going to show you just some of the configuration for Mercury Editor. So in Mercury Editor, in the configuration screens for Mercury Editor, a couple things that we have control over. One is just to say what content types we want to enable Mercury Editor on. Mercury also provides support for taxonomy terms and Mercury Editor templates, which I didn't really get into, and I'm happy to show that here in a second. But this is basically just, whatever you turn on, those are the content types you can edit with Mercury. Menu settings, it's a little complex, so it's not much of a visual interface, but this is where you can create settings. You can add YAML settings for for basically laying out that menu. So for categorizing that menu, and you can say, in this case, we're saying that this group called content with a label of content, it's the default one. So any new paragraphs go in there automatically. And these are the components that are explicitly belong inside of that. Just to make sure that's clear, that is, if I go back to the edit screen and hit the plus button, this is what we're talking about. So content is the default group. We explicitly say where some of those go, but it's also the default group. And that's what allows us to break this up into, we have the media group, the calls to action, et cetera. And all of that just adds this very simple categorization on that menu. Alex, does that answer your question? Great, thank you. All right. While we're waiting for any other questions, I'm going to go take a look at the revisions page again, just see what we ended up with here, make sure that actually came through the way I expect it. So sure enough, I deleted the video in that revision and it's gone. And in the previous revision, the video is still there. And so that's how that works. I mean, revisions, essentially the same way that it works on just with normal Drupal edit forms. And that was one big step that we took with Mercury, is really what's happening behind the scenes. All of this content is being managed through a Mercury, or being managed through just a regular Drupal edit form. Looks like Nora maybe has a question.
Hi. Yeah, I'm not sure if you already covered this. I kind of joined late, but have you ever worked with, and this is probably more a layout paragraphs question, but there may be some Mercury elements here, the way the columns are laid out. Have you ever worked with like a decoupled situation where you're wanting to expose these paragraphs via API for other sites to consume or something to that effect?
Yeah, totally. I love that question. So I can't demo that, but
yeah, no, I mean, have you worked with that sort of situation?
Yeah, we have. We absolutely have. And I actually I do have another project that I'm right in the middle of with one of our front end devs, where we're doing exactly.
I'm sorry. I was just going to ask the references that you were talking about the structure. Is that something that is easily exposed to the API, or? It
is. It comes through JSON API. So all of that data comes through the JSON API. All of the layout data comes through JSON API. Okay. What we've been working on with Mercury. So what Mercury, basically the architecture of Mercury, if I just click back into, I have to go to the most recent revision. Where are you? If I go back into edit, the architecture is such that we are looking at a Drupal edit form with a live preview iframe. And then what happens is, as you're making edits in the iframe, that's pushing commands up to the parent window. Those commands are being processed by Drupal. And then, something that was, we kind of turned the corner when we got this part working. The Ajax responses are being kind of shaped for the iframe specifically. So it's running through the theme that belongs to the iframe, et cetera. The nice thing about that whole setup is it provides this layer of abstraction that in theory will work for decoupled websites. So you can imagine that this preview is a decoupled site. We're posting content back to, we're posting messages back to the Drupal form. That's what's loading, so you're clicking the plus button on your React app. It's loading the dialogue in the context of Drupal. When you hit save, it sends the message back to the React app. The React app refreshes. We actually have a prototype of that working with a client right now. It's not React, it's Vue. But that was a big part of the decision to go in this direction, was the idea that, it would support that.
Yeah.
So-
Preview is probably the biggest sort of challenge when it comes to a decoupled situation, I would say. I've been in a couple like other architectures where that was always a focus as well. So it's good to hear that is, I don't know, handled better here, to be honest, from what I was doing.
Totally. And we would love the opportunity to work with folks on implementing that and continue to push that part of this. So yeah, thanks for that question. Kristen, I think you have your hand raised, correct?
Yeah. So I know how much effort this type of work takes for, especially as a web agency taking this on. It's a big project. It's a lot of people hours, and not always. A lot of this is probably not billable work. I totally get it, and been there, done that. So I guess part of what I'm wondering is, how are you engaging with maybe other companies or other community members to try to foster, more collaboration and trying to get more people on board so that this becomes, the thing people use, right? Do you have a Slack channel, or, are you, I don't know, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And to be honest, no. The simple answer is we don't. And so far, we have been using this really in, I would say, in isolation, I think it's fair to say, and serving the needs of our clients. And I think it's interesting, it's one of the challenges with open source, in my view. I mean, we're dedicated to open source tools. It's all we do. All we do is work with open source. And at the same time, one of the challenges is very general purpose tools can be very hard to build extremely effective interfaces with very general purpose tools. And so for us, what that's meant is, in a way, there's a lot of benefit for really tailoring this very specifically to our needs and our clients' needs. Now, I think, fortunately, that extends to many, many other organizations out there. But, to be honest, at this stage, I'm less concerned with building consensus with other, agencies, or even like a broader collection of organizations, and much more interested in quickly deploying this for the organizations we serve, iterating, with what we learn and pushing that back into the product. That's been effective for us. I should say really quickly, just as a quick follow-up, I also am the maintainer and was the original developer behind layout paragraphs. And layout paragraphs does have a much more general purpose in mind. And with layout paragraphs, there's a very active issue queue. That's something that we are kind of engaging the community more on. And I think that's being used. I mean, I have seen ways that that's being used that I just never would have imagined when was creating that. And I love seeing that and supporting that. But when it comes to Mercury Editor, I think we have very specific ideas of how this will work, and we're really focusing on pushing those forward.
And then I guess a follow-up, there's this whole, Dries, make it easy for, the content editors to build things, this whole initiative, there's been a string of initiatives, right, of, trying to make it easier and easier. Something like this, I think, seems to me like a great pathway into core. So have you had any talk with any of the core folks?
No.
Yeah, okay.
No, we really haven't. And so I work in the client services business. We serve the needs of our clients. We're an agency. And honestly, when it comes again to tools like this that are fairly narrow in their focus, I like the speed we can work at when we're working in the contrib space, and really focused on in a very fast way on what are the needs of our clients and what are they, what serves marketing and editorial staff and the organizations that we're working with. My concern is the impact on pace and, going back to what I said a second ago, like oftentimes when things become very general purpose, it can be hard to just challenging to be as effective. And that's my concern more broadly for kind of some of those initiatives as well. And I'm excited and interested to see kind of where those go.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions? We still have a couple minutes here.
I might have another question here. I'm thinking about, you kind of brought up for me, Kristen, as a technical PM, some questions around effect on costing or resourcing internally. And so I just wonder if you have been able to effectively, incorporate this into your project process and billability. Does it feel like it's something that is extra that you're doing, or is it something that you are just doing as part of any other kind of architecture that you might employ?
Yeah, great question. I think I understand your question. I think what you're asking, Nora, is this like an extra or secondary service that we're providing, or is this more baked into our process at this point?
Yes.
Yeah, and I would say the latter. At this point, Mercury has become a part of the architecture for most of our projects. As I said earlier, and Nora, you might have missed this at the beginning, one of the kind of fundamental aspects of Mercury is that you can install and uninstall it without hurting your content at all. So I say fundamental architecture, I mean, clients can uninstall and walk away from it, but the expectation is that clients will use Mercury. We have a workflow that goes, moves from strategy into design. Design is with Figma. Figma components then go into Storybook. That's powered by single directory components. Those components then get translated into paragraph types. That's enabled with Mercury. The real only extra layer is turning on Mercury and the little bit of specific front-end development that needs to happen to make sure those components work well in the context of that live preview. There's not a whole lot to do there. It's mostly around making sure that the attributes are correctly being pushed to components so that all of the interactivity can kind of do its thing.
Maybe a follow-up, thank you for that. Maybe a follow-up question to that is, do you feel that this is something that is just as easy or not as easy, maybe, to like the complexity of a migration versus a new build type situation from a design perspective? Like being that it's paragraphs, right? And like, what if they were on just paragraphs and they were doing nesting? Is that like a direction where you wouldn't choose to implement this because it's too complex sometimes to transition or migrate?
No, so far we have not really encountered a scenario that I can think of where it would be where we chose not to implement Mercury because it was too complicated.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the only context where we wouldn't implement Mercury, sometimes content types are still needed. Like a blog post, if your blog post is like one image and a bunch of text, you don't really need Mercury for that. If you have a product page that's like one product image, bunch of text, you don't really need Mercury for that. On the other hand, if you want to be able to build layouts, if you want your authors to be able to easily, quickly compose content from a component library, that's really where Mercury comes to play.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
So Justin, you gonna be at DrupalCon?
I am going to be at DrupalCon.
All right, let's talk.
All right, great. Yeah, looking forward to it. I will be there. I think we're doing a demo of this in the Pantheon booth Monday, I think. And we'll be at our own booth to talk about it and just around the conference. So yeah, come find us.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody. I think we're at time, right, Aaron?
We are at time. That was a great session. I'm going to be talking to my developer now.
Well, appreciate all of you. Thanks so much for coming. I love talking about this stuff. And I think hopefully everybody got that. I'll just leave it up there for a second. Anyways, yeah, stay in touch if you want, but also just follow the project page on Drupal.org is fine. And thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the camp.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.